Hello everyone, this is Eagle Owl. I wanted to make a video to show you a method that I designed, I basically came up with by myself. And what it is, it gives you a way to create basically fire starting cubes that burn really good, and it helps ensure that you can get a good fire going. And here's basically what you do. I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought these $1 candles right here. You buy these $1 candles and you get a tall pan full of hot water. You put all the candles in the water, and as the water heats up, the candles melt, okay? Once the candles are fully melted, they're going to have a wick that comes all the way up the candle. You take those wicks out, okay? You take the wicks out, you take the long wick out, you lay it out, you take scissors, and you cut all the wicks. I'll show you close up. You can see some of the wicks. There's one. See the wicks? What you do is you cut all these wicks into little bitty pieces that are maybe like about 3/8 of an inch long. And then you take any old sawdust from where you've been cutting down, if you cut down logs, tree, just any scrap sawdust, you save that. And then what you do is, once the wax is melted, you take whatever device you want to put them in. You can use, this is the first time I'm trying ice cube trays. In the past I used muffin pans, so the fire starters were bigger chunks. And I got to thinking, well, I'd rather place 2 or 3 strategic smaller cubes than like one big one in one spot. So I'm trying ice cubes this time. To help release them when it's done, I put some kind of lubricating liquid in it first. You could use like Vaseline. You could rub butter in it. Basically what I did is I took a can of this butter spray and I spray the ice trays first so that it'd be easier to remove them. And then I pour a little bit of liquid in each container, in each pocket, and then I start filling it up with sawdust. And I filled it up with sawdust till it's about 3/4 of the way to the top. If you put sawdust in first and then try to pour the wax, what'll happen is sometimes the wax struggles to make it past all the sawdust, and then you'll have a big chunk with a bunch of dry sawdust flakes at the bottom, and it just breaks apart. So you want the wax to cover the whole thing. So you put a little bit of wax in each compartment first, and then you fill it up with sawdust about 3/4 of the way. And then you slowly fill each compartment up with wax until it's pretty much about even with flush with the top of the sawdust. You don't want it way higher than all the sawdust. And then you also don't want it where it barely gets half of it wet, and then there's just a pile of dry sawdust on top. So you basically want it to make it to the top, pretty much to the top of however much sawdust you got. It can be a little bit past. And then what you do is you take these wicks that you've cut into like 3/8 inch pieces or 1/2 inch, whatever you want. You stick each wick just a little bit down into it. And it does better if you let the wax start to dry. I mean, a little bit. Like start to harden up a little bit for like 2 or 3 minutes. Otherwise, it might just fall over. So you take a wick and you just poke it a little bit down into each tray. Now this is freshly made, so it's not even dried yet. Like here's some that's almost dry. And that's what it looks like. It's not the prettiest looking thing in the world, but when it's all done, you'll have these square cubes of wax, which burns good. And then the sawdust is wood, so it helps get the fire going. And then you just drop 1 or 2 cubes underneath whatever firewood you want to burn. Maybe put like, say, 2 cubes, and you light each wick. And each one of those will burn for like a good, like probably 8 or 10 minutes. So you got 8 or 10 minutes of constant flame that lights easy, that's tempting to get the firewood going. And it works really good. I've done it in practice a number of times, and it really works. So that's basically it. Give it a try at home and see how it works for you guys. Like I said, you can use any kind of container you want. I'm trying ice cube trays now. In the past, I used little mini muffin pans. So if you want a bigger fire starter. So this is Al. Thanks for watching.